Hey friends, a very warm welcome to my channel. What you see here is what we are going to create today with watercolors. It is a no stress tutorial and the last episode, that is episode 5 of the series of meditative art. The materials required for today's tutorial: watercolors, a couple of brushes, 2 jars of clean water, rag or tissue to wipe your brush clean on, and of course pencil and paper. To make the tags, I have used watercolor cardstock 250 GSM. However, my practice sessions were all on copy paper or printer paper. So don't limit yourself. Use whatever paper available with you. You can even try it on book paper. So let's get started. Here I'm just drawing a rough outline of my flower to be used as my guideline. For all those who have never tried watercolors or are scared of giving it a try, this one is for you. Believe me, you will thoroughly enjoy this. I am hooked onto it. I'm going to use the wet on wet technique where you first wet your image with water. I'm going to glaze the petal with a wet brush, that is, paint the petal with clear water first. Next, I pick up the pink color on another brush and just touch the brush at the top of the petal. Wow! See how the pigment flows into the water. I get so excited to see this. I take the next color, purple, and do the same thing at the bottom of the petal. You just have to let the water and the pigment do its work. While you'll watch me paint the other petals, I will talk a little bit about art block. There are times when you sit to create something but no ideas come to mind, or you might just create something which does not appeal to you. You keep wondering what is happening. An art block generally occurs when you're exhausted mentally or physically. I get such art blocks at times. I'm sitting with all my art products around me, but I'm not able to create. So what do? I get up and go for a walk. Nature definitely inspires me. At times, I do something other than art, like listen to music or read my favorite topic, or just indulge in snacking. Most important is to relax, don't stress, give yourself some time and chill. It is super normal to get an art block. Coming back to the tutorial, I've finished painting all the petals. Now I'm adding a little bit of details with a skewer and creating some veins on the petals to give it a little more natural look. This is optional, but if you want to do this, do it when the petal is semi-wet and with a very light hand, otherwise you'll tear the paper. Now I'm picking up my third color, navy blue, for the center of the flower. I put some pigment dots in the center and let it bleed into the petals. Also adding a little bit of the darker pigment, that is purple, to the edges of the petal to give it a better finish. My color palette includes only 3 colors: pink, purple and navy blue. You can create your own palette and play with the colors available with you. Now I'm adding a little bit of navy blue at certain edges of the petals to give more depth to the flower. So you see, it was so simple to create this flower. No drawing or no painting expertise required. You might not get it at the first attempt, but don't give up. Try again. You will definitely get it the next time. If you feel that the pigment is more in certain areas, you can lift the pigment up with a clean brush like so. Giving the final touches to the flower. That's when I realized, oops, I had dropped a dot of color at the edge of the tag. Trust me to do that. Fortunately, there is room for me to cut that part of the paper, which I am going to do off camera. For all those who have missed out my earlier series of meditative art, I'll link all the 4 tutorials in the description box below. I added a zigzag border with my fine liner to complete the look. We now move on to our next tag, which is even simpler than this one. Here I wet the pigment with water and then drop 5 dots in the form of a circle, with some space between them so that they don't bleed into one another. Then I rinse the pigment off in clear water, and with that same clean wet brush, I just swiggle the brush in a triangular form on each of the dots to create the petals. When the petals are a little semi-dry, you take a darker color and add it towards the center and let it bleed into the petals. If you feel that the darker pigment has spread too much, you can lift up the color with a clean dry brush like so. I had to try this technique a couple of times before I got the hang of it. When I first tried this, my pigment drops were too watery and ran all over the place, or they would bleed into one another. You will understand this when you try it. You need to get the right mix of water with the pigment to get proper dots. Also, you don't need to shape the outer petal. Just swiggle your wet brush in the form of a triangle and leave it. It's perfectly fine for the petals to come of different size and shape. This is the beauty of it. In this tag, I have used different colors of my palette. Enjoyed playing with the colors. I created the stems with my fine liner and added some leaves to it and gave a zigzag border to finish the tag. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If yes, give me a thumbs up. I would also like to know if any of y'all have faced an art block, and if yes, how do you overcome it? Let me know in the comment section below. There was a time when I had a fear of using watercolors. I had never given it a try till recently when I got inspired by seeing a few YouTube videos on watercolors. I learned to accept my mistakes and learn from them rather than trying to be perfect at the first go. That's when I started enjoying my watercolor journey. A big thank you for taking time to watch my video. If you liked it, you can subscribe and ring the bell icon for notification of my next upload. I created another tag off camera with the same technique using grey and black. Beautifying the tags by using ribbons and sentiments. See you all in my next video. Bye bye.